You've had a long day, man. I'm
Yeah.
Jeff Woods. It's nice to meet you, Ronnie. It's
Oh,
really
great to meet you, son.
I'd met Keith and Mick, and we've had great chats over the years. But it's finally great to see you because we got a lot to cover with you. You're a busy man. You've never looked better. You look really happy.
Yeah, I'm nicely focused and very satisfied with the music and with the art. I've been recently inducted into the Butler Institute, which is a museum. So I'm an artist that's not only in galleries but now museums. So that's really made me proud.
Congrats. That's a huge distinction because very few musicians have that distinction of being actually in a museum. It's one thing to have your art here and there, but you're in a museum.
That's right.
A full-blown exhibition.
I'm really getting more and more like a dinosaur, folks, now. This is properly in a museum. Oh, no.
Lest anyone think that you just got into painting or sketching 10 minutes
Yeah.
ago. You studied that in school as a
Yeah,
young
well,
person,
ever
right?
since I can remember, early, about as 4 years old, I would copy my older brothers because they went to art school. So if they painted, I would paint. And if they had a whole room full of instruments, so if they would pick up an instrument, I would do the same, and just took it my way, you know.
You took it all the way. Here, I'm going to show the camera. The cover of the record is actually a fairly recent painting that you did for the cover.
Yeah, one of the last times I came out of rehab, I feel like painting, and along with that, I just took it and did I feel like playing. So the pair have gone hand in hand, and this is the result of just a friend of mine, Steve Bing. He said, "Hey, Ronnie, I want to hear you play. We want to hear you play. I booked the House of Blues in L.A."
Yeah.
He said, "I've got Jim Keltner up there and Ivan Neville." And I said, "Well, I'm with Bernard Fowler, and I've got Flea on the end of the phone, you know." So we went up and we cut Spoonful, and the whole album took off over a period of a couple of months. We finished it, you know.
You mentioned Ivan Neville and Keltner and Waddy's on there and Flea and Slash and
Billy Gibbons, yeah.
and you mentioned Bernard Fowler. I mean, it's obvious to anyone who's ever seen you in an interview or seen you on stage why people are attracted to you. But what do you think it is that you're able to amass this great collection of people to do a record with?
Well, they all just happened to be in town and nearby. I kept bumping into Slash when I had my book out. He had a book out. We didn't know we each had a book out, but we'd meet in like Virgin Bookstore or something. "Hey, man, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I've got a book out." And then he was making an album at the same time as me, and he'd say, "Hey, you need any help, Ronnie?" You know, I'd say, "Come on, Slash, you know what I want. You know, I'll play him a song once." And he'd go, "Oh, God, good idea." And I said, "Well, go and do it." You know, so, and it was a bit like that rapport with everyone that came by. You know, Billy Gibbons came through. He heard I was in the studio. He's coming from Texas. He happened to be in L.A., and he said, he sat down and listened to a bit of what I've been doing, and he said, "I got a song for you, man. You know, I got a thing about you. You know, I can see it now. Let's do it." So we rehearsed a little bit and cut it straight away. And most of the stuff on there, Darryl Jones would be in town when Flea had to leave town. When Keltner, we were both working with Jerry Lee Lewis as well. So he was co-producing that album. So he had to leave for Tennessee, Memphis and Nashville. He was working, and L.A. And then Steve Perrone,
Yeah, the drummer.
would be in the next studio, and he said, "Hey, man, I'll gladly play." You know, so it wasn't twisting anyone's arm, and it wasn't planned or anything. It was just what's in the air at the time, and picking up on good vibes. You know, the first song after Spoonful was, "What'd you want to go and do a thing like that for?" I had the chorus, and I bumped into Chris Christopherson on the steps of the studio, and I said, "Hey, Chris, come and hear this." And he went, "Hey, well, that's really good." And I said, "Write me a couple of verses." He said, "I can't do that today, but I'll have them ready for you tomorrow." It was like that, you know.
Good impersonation. And that's the lead track. And when people hear it, as I did, I'm like, it sounds a lot like Dylan. It sounds like classic Dylan, man.
Yeah, that and Tell Me Something,
Yeah.
you know, like the middle eights, and yeah, it's reminiscent. I agree, but I had catchphrases going around like, "What do you want to go and do a thing like that for?" And "Well, I don't think so." You know, like I'd answer a lot of people, "Well, I don't think so." And I thought, well, that's a song. And Bernard Fowler would come in with, "Hey, sweetness, my weakness, how you doing?" You know, I say, That's not a greeting. That's a song. You know?
But they draw from so much of your past.
That's right.
And so much of the people in the room.
And Bernard would say, okay, write it. And I say, all right, I'll write it. And just write the melody. And then we go in the studio in the evening and cut it. And it came together that quick. You know, a song would be designed in the afternoon, cut in the evening. Chris Christopherson couldn't believe it. He went, you don't make records like that, man. I said, I do. And he was laughing. And he was going, wow, man, more power to you, you know.
Well, you really amassed a collection of characters in this record. And it sounds like a Ronnie Wood record with some special guests, but it doesn't sound like Slash being Slash. It sounds like Slash complimenting what you're doing.
That's exactly right. And I didn't lose track of it being my album. I didn't go, I want it to showcase Slash or showcase Flea. And it was... I knew it was my album, and I said, look, okay, there's a little gap here. You can play in that bit. And I'm going to do this mainly all the solos. And there's Dave Rouse over there, my guitar tech. We use his studio, Bay 7. I use about 5 or 6 studios in the LA area making the album. We just skip from studio to studio. Where are we tonight? Stage and Sound. I'd call it Sage and Onion Studios. We had another one called the Meat Factory. It was called the Hit Factory. And get down to Meat Factory and cut another song.
As the title of the album is I Feel Like Playing once again. And Ronnie, how much do you play a day? Do you get away from it and get back into it? Is it tough because you're busy with your museum showing and you're busy painting and you're busy, period? It's life, right?
Yeah.
How much do you sit down and play a guitar on an average day?
Hardly at all. That's why it's nice to start a project like a solo album.
Yeah.
And it gives you something to strive towards. Otherwise, I'd just pick it up for a couple of minutes and put it down and watch a movie or something. You know, it's good to be motivated, and there's nothing better than keeping busy. I love to keep busy, either painting or playing.
Yeah. Jeff Beck told me that he keeps a guitar strategically placed all over the house. So if he feels like playing, there's a guitar there.
That's right. I was just down at his house before I came here.
Yeah.
And he was giving Anna some guitar lessons.
Is that right?
It's funny because I'm giving her basic lessons. And Jeff was so patient. She said, he's so much more patient than you are.
It's always the way.
And I'm going, well, there's your chord. Just play it,
Some people, you play, there's a little note there.
Oh, yeah, the steakhouse, not the meat factory. Okay.
Some people don't know you played on this record, and you played it years ago with Jeff on the first couple of Jeff Beck records, the bass.
Yeah, I'm playing that on I've Got a Thing About You. One take.
Yeah, you got Billy playing lead, and you're playing the bass?
Well, we're both playing
You're
guitars
both playing
together.
guitars, yeah.
We put the track down together, and then we overdub the leads.
Yeah.
And, question and answer thing.
Why do you go and play the bass? Just 'cause?
Just because, yeah. I said, hang on, this is my album. I nearly forgot to play bass on it.
How do you characterize, most succinctly, what's the biggest difference between a bass player and a guitar player in terms of
Two strings.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, basically, I got a good viewpoint during the Jeff Beck group days of the guitar through the bass, just hitting the simplicity of the 4 strings on the bass. It gave me a great head start when I went back to the 6-string. Because I'd kind of reached a stagnation point before on the guitar. I thought, I need something else. And when Jeff said, would you mind playing bass? I went, no, I leapt at the idea. And Hendrix used to love the way I played it. He'd say, hey, Jeff, get Ronnie a solo, And I'd go steam into it.
Taught Noel a thing or two, or maybe you did.
And then I find all of a lot of bass players I've met since, like Stanley Clarke.
Yeah.
I had him in the New Barbarians. He said, I started playing bass because I heard you, and I thought, that's a huge compliment.
Massive. Did the New Barbarians share a bill years ago with Zeppelin? Were you on a bill with Zeppelin?
Yeah.
I seem to recall.
At Nebworth Festival.
At Nebworth.
We opened up we were a right shambles of a band, but we tried, and we toured around 78, 79 time, wasn't it?
You played out in Oshawa, that CNIB gig years
right.
ago. I lived in that town, and I couldn't get a ticket. What a travesty.
I think we got sued for the people wrecking the seats in there or something.
Can't imagine why.
Oh, God. Well, I think my manager at the time had billed that Bob Dylan and Mick Jagger were going to come. You know, where's Bob? Where's Mick? And I'm going, what you see is what you get. And they're all going, wow, I protest. You know?
And now everyone says, oh, I was there. Yeah, sure.
And I'm going, just listen to the music. You'll get your rewards there.
Exactly. Today, so I'm waiting to come and meet you, and excited about talking to you about the new record. And I get bumped, and I'm like, I couldn't have been bumped. The interview time got put back, obviously. I couldn't have been bumped for a bigger celebrity. Not just one, but two. Who did you go to see this afternoon? Who did you go to see?
Oh, just the President of the United States and the ex-President of the United States. Ended up having a great time with Bill Clinton, because he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
Missed Obama, but I saw his lovely Michelle, I saw his lovely wife talk. And, Bill Clinton was he put his arms around me and he went, I've got 2 of your paintings. He said, my paintings are all over my place. And I said, well, get ready, because I'm going to send you 4 special etchings, you know. And he was,
wow.
And I said, you're going to get my album too. And he went, oh, please, get it to me. And I told him about the museum. He said, yeah, I know, I read about it. You know, cool. It was really cool.
And there's at least a month of showing in the museum of your stuff, correct?
Yeah, it's until November.
On through November. Is it the Musketeer Suite that I saw online of the Stones? Is that what it's called? You did sketches of the 4 of you, of the Rolling Stones.
What, there's the big painting, the Beggar's Banquet one.
There's one as well.
These little etchings.
Yes, the etchings.
Mick is a lord and
exactly.
Keith is a pirate,
with
me
different
as a
names.
gypsy,
Well, how long ago did you?
Jazzer.
Is a jazz player.
Yeah,
Cotton Club, it's called, right? Yeah.
I suppose I did them about 5 years ago.
Oh, they're cool.
Time just flies. I don't know. Yeah. But they're quite recent.
You say you don't pick up the guitar every day. How often do you pick up a paintbrush or do a sketch?
I don't do that very often either. But when I do, I get possessed with modes. You know, like it's like a graph. Like I go into a painting mode, and I have to keep painting. And then when that runs dry, I kind of get the music mode. So, then I pick up and start writing. It's quite good that these phases just interconnect. As soon as one phase is down, the other one starts rising its head, you know.
So you don't have a favorite, it's just you like doing it all, and when it feels right, you do it.
Yeah, sometimes I play to paintings, and sometimes I paint to music. You know, it's that closely related.
Did one come easier than the other, painting or music? Did you have to work harder at one more than the other?
Yeah, I suppose I work harder on the music because it's got so many more different layers.
Yeah.
But, you know, silk screen, I mean, you could compare the making of a silk screen with all the layers. There's loads of layers. So in the end, it kind of evens itself out. There's the quick line painting, which is very quick. And it's just like doing an acoustic quick like design of a song or something.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.